guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, hi, I'm Pete. Now today's video will be slightly different just because I am honoring Dr. Martin Luther King. Yes, that's right, I am honoring him for this video, only just because I wouldn't have any kind of position or even to begin to even have a position to be in if it wasn't for Mr. King himself. Now, over the years, I would say over the 30 plus years, I've learned and also watched of different ways of honoring him. And in my own right, I would like to honor this video, as I said, to him. Now, in this video, we're going to cover, I think I chose maybe 4 plants that was discovered by certain gentlemen who I will leave nameless only because of this video is dedicated again to Dr. Martin Luther King. But I did choose these plants and they were discovered the same year Dr. King was born. And once I go over a little background on Dr. King himself, we're going to jump straight into that. All right, guys, let's get started. All right, guys, on January the 15th, 1959, Martin Luther King Jr. was born in Atlanta, Georgia, being the son of a Baptist minister. King also received a doctorate degree in theology, and in 1955, he also helped organize the first major protest of African American civil rights movement, the successful Montgomery bus boycott. All right, guys, we're going to cover a little background on the boycott just because if you didn't know a little history on it, I decided to throw it in. And again, it's a good part of our history. All right. The Montgomery bus boycott was a civil rights protest in which African Americans refused to ride city buses in Montgomery, Alabama to protest segregated seating. The boycott took place from December 5th, 1955 to December 20th, 1956, and is regarded as the first large-scale U.S. demonstration against segregation. 4 days before boycott began, Rosa Parks, an African-American woman, was arrested and fined for refusing to yield her bus seat to a white man. The U.S. Supreme Court ultimately ordered Montgomery to integrate its bus systems. And one of the leaders of this boycott, yes, our young Mr. Martin Luther King Jr., he was emerged as a prominent leader of the African civil rights movement. Being a powerful orator, King appealed to Christian and American idols and won growing support from the federal government and northern whites. In 1963, Bayard Rustin and A. Philip Randolph led the massive March of Washington for jobs and freedom. The event's grand finale was King's famous I Have a Dream speech. 150,000 people gathered outside the Lincoln Memorial to hear this speech. In 1964, the civil rights movement achieved 2 of its greatest successes. The ratification of the 24th Amendment, which abolished the poll tax, and the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which prohibited racial discrimination in employment and education and outlawed racial segregation in public facilities. Later that year, King became the youngest person to win the Nobel Prize in the late 1960s. King also turned his efforts to winning economic rights for poor Americans. Unfortunately, Martin Luther King was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee on April 4th, 1968. This here accident shattered hundreds of blacks and whites in themselves. In his own right, he was a great man. Gone, but will never, and I mean never, be forgotten. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Now, the first plant we have here is a Nepenthes, I think you pronounce it spectabulis, but of course I'll put the names up there. Now, this is basically, if you know what the Nepenthes is, it's a pitcher plant. Far as I know, you grow them the same, but as the research that I pulled up on them, you grow them, it's basically like any other tropical plant. The pitchers themselves can reach between 6 to 8 inches. You also need to put them in partial sun. If they're inside, usually a south-facing window would do. I wouldn't water these with any kind of like tap water. I would use mineral water or anything with low in minerals. Um, of course, you don't want the soil to be waterlogged, but you also want it to be damp. Now, looking at these plants themselves, guys, they are freaking gorgeous. As you can tell by some of the pictures here, even though I only have your, I guess, original monkey's cup, I would love these in my collection. Now, that's only saying if I can get the ones that I have now to actually thrive. I mean, they're thriving, but they're moving kind of slow. I don't know if it's just because of the seasons have changed, but um, yeah, they're moving slow. With these guys here, they are wonderful. Some of them, I've done my research, but I noticed that the mature they get, the more of that camouflage pattern you see on the cups themselves. The leaves also form as like your regular monkey cups that we have here in the States. Um, the arrow or pointed shaped leaf with the cup coming on the end. These cups here, they don't have the lids to them just because the lip of it, as you can see, is a lot wider and thicker. So once they hit the rim, they typically, whatever it is, will slide in there and be digested from its natural juices that it produces. Also, this plant here, I would love to have, but as I said, um, the conditions that I'm growing mine in now, I mean, they're okay, but I would want to have a better, I would say, tropical rainforest setup just because these plants themselves here are from the, I think it's Southeast Asia rainforest. If I'm not mistaken, I will check and correct myself on this. Um, so yeah, guys, the first plant I have is the Nepenthes spectabulus. All right, guys, the next plant that was discovered in 1929 would be the iris Camilla. Camilla, I'm not even going to torture it. I think it's called the Tovas. Gonna stick the name up there. Um, if you look at this plant, it is considered a rare specimen. I could only find a couple of these plants themselves. As you can see by the one that I did post, it is spectacular. The blue on it, the slight little purple, the stripes, the yellow. It looks like a little, I don't know, an angel or a fairy or a, what was the name of that movie? Arthur Spiderwick. The Spiderwick Chronicles or something with the little fairy thingy. Nymphs or whatever they call them. But this plant looks wonderful. I would actually love to own this plant. I wouldn't even use it as a house plant just because here in Georgia, the part that I'm in, irises grow wonderfully here. Of course, they stay green throughout the year, and come spring, they will shoot up or shoot out their stalks to produce the wonderful, different colored, shape flowers, and they are awesome. I do have your regular average irises that you can find, like at your local Lowe's, Home Depot, or even sometimes a dollar store. But I would love to have this little guy here. Of course, with these, they are bulbs, so you only need one to actually start a mass collection because these guys will spread like no tomorrow. The rhizomes, like I said, it only take one. You can break it off, and by the end of the summer, I'm pretty sure you'll have at least about 6 or 7 plants. But yes, guys, this is the Iris Camilla Tovas. All right, plant number 3 on the 1929 Martin Luther King's list. We have another Nepenthes, guys. This one is called the Nepenthes Dubia or Dubii. Now, this Nepenthes or Dubia, however you want to pronounce it, this little guy here, as you can see by pictures, is very strange looking, but of course, you know, I love my lime green looking colors, but this is almost close to like a lime green, like knocking on the door to yellow, or like a real bright yellow knocking on the door to lime green. But anyway, guys, this is one I would say for picture plants kind of strange or weird, just because I've never seen this kind before. But looking at the pictures of it, I have fallen for it. And again, I would love to add this one into my collection just because the cups are a lot smaller, and also, as I said, they're different. And different usually what sells for me, and I'm loving it. And again, you grow these, of course, just like your regular pitcher plant or um, carnivorous plant. Of course, this is a tropical plant, and for some kind of way, they tend to grow here in our climate. But again, here in Georgia, we get that humid, sticky weather. You know, maybe 6 months out of the year, if that, and you got to have the right conditions to keep these guys outside. But if you have a lot of house plants and if you're carrying pests, of course, any kind of natural pesticide, which would be a prayer plant, no, God, a prayer plant would be a Nepenthes or a pitcher plant or monkey cups or fly trap. Anything natural like that would definitely help, and that is why I'm trying to get the one to grow inside of my grow tent now. Not saying that I have pests in there, but you know, you never know, and just in case. And also, I mean, who don't like monkey cups? But yeah, guys, this is the Nepenthes Dubia or Dubia. All right, guys. So the last plant that we have on our 1929 Martin Luther King plant list would be the, let's just say, orchid. Okay. This plant is I can't pronounce the name, but the last part is like Gardner, Rhizothelia, Rhizothelia Gardneria. I don't know, but I'll place the name again up here. Now this here, as I said, is what we call an orchid. This orchid, guys, I've never ever never seen any kind of species or flowering. Just this orchid is basically commonly known as the Western underground orchid. Um, this orchid belongs to a place out in southwest of the Western Australia. Some people use them as a herb. Also, some people just use them as flowers. But as you can tell by the pictures, guys, I've never seen a plant that looks like this, a flower that looks like this. The only other flower that I know that comes out of the ground like that is one of those thinking little, well, they're not little big, huge. Um, I don't know. It's a plant that stinks. I forgot the name of it. Maybe I can insert a quick picture of it. But yeah, it's huge and it stinks. But that's the only plant that I've seen that comes out and flower and then die. But this plant here looks like a pomegranate from this first picture, and even the breakdown of it, guys, is coming out of the ground like a little alien eyeball or something that you will see on sci-fi. But I would most definitely put this one here, this Rhizothelia Gardneri or Gardneri. Okay, let's just say orchid. I would love to put this here orchid in my collection. This will be at the top of the 4 that I've chosen today. Yes, this will be most definitely at the top of the ones that I've chosen today, and it's a must-have. And I've been searching, and as of now, I've seen one spot that says it's out of stock. but I won't give up that easily. And also, depending on the price, I might just give up on it. But I can always admire it from afar. And it looks like that's what I might have to do. But this is one fantastic looking plant, guys. Alright guys, that concludes our video for today. I would like to thank you for coming back and supporting my channel. This video again is dedicated to Dr. Martin Luther King himself in my own right. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please also hit that notification bell because there will be videos coming out at least every day or every other day, guys. So I am prepared, and I also have plenty of videos recorded and ready to put out for you guys. Again, thanks for coming. I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.